Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's tutorial we'll be learning how to cut a princess dart bustier with a scalloped neck. So guys, don't skip this video, please make sure you watch to the end. So let's get into the cutting table. So the neck I'll be making is a kind of scalloped neck. If you check this style, this is what I'll be making. So can you see how the neck looks? So this is the neck so I've already marked out my points. I don't want to waste our time. I already marked out my points. This is my chest line, my bust line, my under bust. So this is my waist around here, and this is the hem of the blouse, and the remaining part here are the seam allowance and the remaining fabric that will fall over the lining. So I'm using bridal satin as the lining as well, for both on the lining and the lining. So I place it together so I can cut the two together at the same time. I don't want to cut them separately, so that's why I'm placing it on each other. So now this is the center of my armhole, and this is a 3 inches standard to determine where your shoulder slope would extend to. So now this is my nipple to nipple measurement of 4 inches. The actual nipple to nipple measurement is 7 inches. On fold is 3.5, so I added half an inch to it and it makes it 4 inches. So on a normal day I will not mark the waist because I don't really need the waist for this pattern. The only way you can need your waist is if the person you are making the outfit for, if the waist is bigger than the hip, that's when you can measure your hip. But if the hip is bigger than the waist, you don't really need the waist. All you need to do is connect from the bust to the under bust and then to the hem of the blouse. So that's the secret to all these IGBO blouses. They only make use of their underbust. The underbust is very, very important. That's what gives the blouse that kind of curvy shape. So even if your waist is big and all that, your underbust will still be smaller than every other part of your body, and that's what brings out the shape on blouses. So now the dart, I'll be doing a little adjustment to the dart. I want it to look like an IGBO blouse dart, and to make it like that, from the hem, this is the hem of the skirt, the actual hem here, you go out by half an inch. Okay, so on a normal day I'm supposed to mark out the half an inch before marking this line. Okay, so now you come out by half an inch. That means what I added here now is 4.5 inches. So now from there you connect from the waist to half an inch. So I connected it from the waist to the half an inch I mark out here. So this half an inch, you also measure it down here. So you measure the half an inch downward. So now this side now is our new nipple to nipple measurement. Okay, this is the waist area. I only measure this waist area so I will know where to take this mark from. So now we'll start taking our measurement. So the measurement I'll be taking 1 inch on this side, 1 inch on this side, and 1.5 on the other side here. Okay, 1 inch here, 1.5 here. So at the bust point here, I'll be coming down by half an inch. Here I'll come down by half an inch, and I'll also go upward by half an inch. Okay, so because I don't want the bust point to, you know, to be pointed. So now this is the armhole length. So now let me determine the armhole. Determine the half of your armhole length. Then you want to come out by half an inch. Then from the half an inch, you use your French curve, and then you curve it like so. You curve it like so, then you straight it up from here. So now from the center here, you can come down by 1 inch, and you can come down by half an inch. Okay, so I'll just come down by, I would like to come down by 1/4 of an inch. So from here now, I have the quarter, I have 3/4 of an inch. This is 3/4 of an inch. So now from there, now I'll connect. You connect to this point. Can you see what I have? So once you're done connecting, then from here as well, you want to connect here. You can use your curve ruler to do this. Okay, let's use your curve ruler here. So I'm using my curve ruler here. So to here as well. So now this is what I have after curving. Can you see what I have? So now what you want to do is, from the waist, from the blouse length, you want to come up by 2 inches. So then you make a straight line from under the bust to these 2 inches to meet the nipple to nipple measurement here. So now you pull it here, you roll it here like so, and then this as well, you roll it here as well. So make sure you blend all these curves. All these curves you have here, make sure you blend it. So this is what I have here. So on this place, you are going to extend by 1.5 inch. I'll extend this place by 1.5 inch. Which is what I have here. So then from here now, you connect back to this place. Can you see? So on this side, you can take 1 inch, you can take half an inch, depends on what you want, and you can leave it as it is. So now that is all about the bustier, the princess that bustier. Can you see? It's so easy. And on this side, you can take all your allowances, all your that measurement, you can take it on this side and just leave this side straight as it is here, and take all the, you know, what I took here all together now is 2.5. You can take the 2.5 on one side, okay, and you can take one inch on both sides. It depends on how you want this place to go in. So the more you take out of here, the more it goes in. But if the person is not busty, you can use about half an inch, 1 inch, 1.5. So if the person is busty, you can use 2 inches around this side. So now the next thing I want to do now is I'll put all the measurements there before moving to the neck, because the neck is where the work is. So now the bust measurement I'm working with is 34 inches. 34 divided by 4, I have 8.5. So now you measure what you'll be taking out of here. You'll be taking about 1/4 of an inch here, and for joining this place together you will need 1 inch. That's 1.25 of an inch. Then you will add your seam allowance of 1.5 inches. So this is it here. Then moving to the underbust. The underbust I'm using is 29. 29 divided by 4, you have 7.25. You have 7.25. So now at the underbust area, you measure what you have here. I have 2.5, and you'll be needing 1 inch to join this place together. So 2.5 plus 1, you have 3.5. Then plus 1.5 seam allowance. This is what I have here. Then on the hip line, I'm working with is 38. 38 divided by 4, you have 9.5. You have 9.5. So 9.5, you mark it here. I'm marking the 9.5 here. Okay, so then, because there is nothing that was taken away from here, you just need to add the 1 inch you are going to use to join these two pieces together. So the 1 inch plus 1.5 inch seam allowance, you have 2.5. So you are going to put the 2.5, measure it downward. Now I'll rule out the measurements. So it doesn't matter what you have here. So in order to just make this blend well, I'll just extend the allowance at the bust. So once I'm joining, I'll take off the excess allowances there. So now to the lower part, because I'm making a blouse, you need to remove 1 inch from the hem of the blouse to give it that curve on the lower part of the blouse. So from my allowance of 1.5 inch allowance, so I'll go up by 1 inch. Okay, can you see? This is the 1 inch here. So from that 1 inch, you want to curve your blouse. Okay, you're also going to curve the back as well. So this is what I have after curving. Can you see? You have to curve it. So now once I'm done here, now we'll move to the back. So the back I'll be using 4 inches width. If you check the neck very well, you will see the neck is wide. 4 inches. So now 4 inches wide, then width, then I'll come down by 4.5. Okay, this is 4.5. 4.5. I'll mark the width as well. So and after marking, you are going to curve it. After marking, you want to curve. So this is what I have after marking. So now from here, now you will come out by 2 inches. Okay, and you see, another thing you can do is to look for the midpoint of this place to this place. So and then you mark it out. So it's still 1.5. The midpoint is 1.5. So you can mark it out like so. just as guideline. Okay, so then we came in here by 2 inches. So here, after determining the midpoint between the neckline here and the one we rolled here, then you come in here by 3 inches. We came in here by 2 inches, but here you come in here by 3 inches. So I'm marking the 3 inches here. Okay, so from that 3 inches, you will take your curve ruler and then curve like a sweetheart neck. That's what you're going to be doing. Okay, like a sweetheart neck. You curve it down like so. Can you see? So from that point now, so from this point you connect here. So from this point now you connect here. Can you see? You have to make sure it's not sharp when you are cutting. You don't want it sharp. You can bend it like so. Can you see how I just bend it? So now this is going to be the new neckline we are working with. Can you see? So I said from here, from the shoulder line to this place, I came down by 4.5. Okay, and from shoulder line to this place I came down by 7.5. So now I determined the midpoint between this 4.5 and 7.5 here, and the midpoint is around 1.5. Can you see? The midpoint is 1.5. So at the midpoint here, so at this upper place here, at this neck width of 4 inches and neck depth of 4.5, I came in by 2 inches. Can you see? I came in by 2 inches. So on this midpoint here, I came in by 3 inches, so that by the time you bring this line, it won't be straight, it will be slanted like so, like what we have in the picture. And then this sweetheart neck, you connect from this 7.5 neck depth, then you connect to this place like what you're seeing here now. I will show you the picture again. So can you see what is in the picture? This is exactly what we are going for. As well, you are going to curve this place. You don't want it sharp too. I'm going to curve it a little bit. So and then you had your seam allowance to all of it. Okay, so and also remember to connect your new armhole line. So at this point I decided to come in again by 1/2 inch because I don't want it too wide, so I just came out again by 1/2 inch. Okay, so but if you want yours to be wide, you can leave it as it is. So then I'll add 1/2 inch seam allowance to all of the neck around. So this is what I have after cutting it out. So you should have something like this. Can you see? I'm still going to stitch by 1/2 inch on all around the neck. I'll still sew by 1/2 inch. So I will show you the back. So this is for the back. The back is just a normal, I'm using a normal dart for the dart. So from the zipper allowance, I also took the nipple to nipple measurement, and I also extended this place here by 1/2 inch, making it 4.5. The same thing I did at the front, I also did at the back. So here too I came up by 2 inches, and that's where the dart you're connecting from upward is going to stop. Okay, so when you're ruling the upper one here too, you will stop at around your bust line, but when you're stitching, you stitch up to the chest line. I like stopping around the bust line so I can. So for the back neck, I came down by 7.5 depth, and for the width is the same thing as the front, 4 inches. So this is the armhole, and also at the zipper area here I came in by 1/2 inch. to avoid folding at the back. And when you are taking the measurements, make sure you add it back to all your measurements. So I'll just take my measurement now and I'll cut the front. I'll place the front, this bridal satin on the fabric, and I'll cut it out. I'll also so guys, this is the final look of the blouse. If you find this video helpful, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like and share this video. See you guys in my